So I was using books where even Christians were conceding that people could see hallucinations, that groups of people could see hallucinations. Well, as long as you concede that, I mean, that doesn't prove the case against the resurrection, but it makes the case against resurrection a lot more difficult if they can see them in groups. But now we know from psychology, in fact, I work with a clinical psychologist in this. He surveyed all the philosophical, all the psychological literature, all the lit review, and there's no arguments, no empirical arguments that anybody's ever seen hallucination in groups. Now, people see things in groups, but they're not hallucinations. In other words, people see something and think of something else. But I'm not talking about seeing something. And hallucination is a very radical concept. It's you see nothing and think it's something. That's different than seeing a cow and thinking it's a horse. That's different. And so once you realize that you don't hallucinate in crowds don't hallucinate, and critics admit, 1 Corinthians 15 again, critics admit that there are groups of people who claimed, point 1 over there, groups of people who thought they saw the risen Jesus. The hallucinations don't work. And that's just one of many reasons. There are almost 24 reasons scholars today admit the tomb was empty. Almost 24 reasons. But as I ask my students, somebody tell me, is hallucination a full tomb view or an empty tomb view? What's hallucination? What's the prediction? On hallucination, what shape will the tomb be in? Full. We have 23 arguments for an empty tomb that I pulled out of those sources from 1975 to present, French, German, English. 23 arguments for the empty tomb. Most scholars today believe empty tomb. Hallucination is a full tomb view, not an empty tomb view. Hallucinations is another one. Hallucinations don't transform lives. You can't explain why the disciples tried to turn the world upside down. How would Paul be convinced by hallucination? He's a critic. What convinces James? He was not in the mood to hallucinate. He was an unbeliever. So there's a lot of problems. But that was the one at the time I thought was the roughest. That was because I was believing premises from the 19th century that are no longer taught today in psychology. Yes.
We'll talk to that. How many independent times when Jesus appeared to people in separate groups where they would not have
different people? Yeah. One of the biggest reputations of hallucinations is different people, different times. Let's put it this way. Men, women, outdoors, indoors, seating, standing, walking, fishing. See, the more people and situations you multiply, the less chance people hallucinate. Because hallucinations are pretty rare. So the minute you start saying there's men, women, you know how serious scholars take this? The Jesus Seminar, who reject 80 to 90% of Jesus' sayings, the Jesus Seminar say, they have a book on the words of Jesus, and they reject 89%. They have a book on the acts of Jesus, what he did. And you have Paul in 1 Corinthians 15. Let me tell you how seriously the Jesus Seminar takes 1 Corinthians 15. Here's this comment by Paul. Last of all, he appeared to me. And the other comment, am I not an apostle? Have I not seen the Lord? Now, if you remember the color scheme of the Jesus Seminar, red means yes. Pink means probably, gray means probably not, and black means no way. Okay, one more time. Red means yes, pink means probably, gray means probably not, and black means no. All right, let's go back to our list. What are the acts of Jesus? Okay, Paul saw Jesus. This is the Jesus Seminar book. They're pretty far down on the left. Paul saw Jesus. Red. Peter saw Jesus. Pink. That's a yes and a probably. And then in their notes they add, the women are in this category too, but they didn't say whether the women were pink or red. They just said it's a yes or a probable. That's the Jesus Seminar. And notice, the disciples are a group, the women were a group. So those are groups. And they rated them red or pink. Now that doesn't mean this Jesus Seminar believed in the resurrection. That means the Jesus Seminar believed they believed resurrection. And now you got to ask, are there any alternatives? So again, I'm using material that's pretty common, that's out there in the table that you can find in the book. It's not conservative, liberal. It's what people believe happened best to our knowledge. I don't want to keep you a whole lot longer, but if there's any, I'll tell you what. I want me to stop there and invite anybody to come down who wants to. Is that good? Okay. Well, we'll stick around. We've got a hotel room here, so we can talk to you until 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, whatever you want. I've got a lot of campuses where actually the janitor comes in and says, "Oh, hey, y'all, we're shutting the building down when you get out." But until then, if you're willing to come on down and chat.